And I think that you can get an awfully long way just by doing that.
I did that my entire life. I had the ultimate blueprint by watching my family. I was the youngest kid. So the youngest kid has the total advantage. You know, you may get picked on, you may get bullied with everybody, but you sit back and exactly what you said. I sat back and watched my dad. Definitely don't want to do that. I started doing research on him. Found out that his dad used to beat him really bad. So his dad would put him in front of a furnace, open the furnace up with the flames coming out, and put him right in front of it. Have him bare butt naked, and he would whip the shit out of him. And the whole idea of that is if you move, you're going to get burned. You're the expert on it. That's why you should talk about bullying. You know, that's why I've become so vulnerable, because all that knowledge you gain, because now you are successful. And there's so many people who are getting bullied in so many ways. There's a lot of times there's roads and there's access to get there. So these, you know, whether it be a hotshot crew or whatever, these different crews who come in by vehicle, they can get into the fire that way. What a smoke jumper is you can't get a vehicle into that place. It is a spot where it's tight. There's no vehicles. There's no access. So why don't you mention it?
I haven't got around to it yet. I maybe still feel like it detracts from the man that I want to be, the masculine man, the respected podcaster, that it somehow undermines me as a person, that it makes me weaker, which is obviously what was, you know, part of the Bullying's purpose in school, to be able to do precisely that.
Right.
So I do this interview for the BBC.
Is this the new push? So when I decided to do that race, it was in the back of my mind, like, man, I've really become an expert at running 100-mile races. So for me, this was the new level, the 200+ mile race. And what was so amazing about that, as you probably read in the book, I had a hard time the first time doing it. I came back and did better. Well, when I left the military, I'm always looking for more. I'm always looking for what's the next thing for myself. That right there was the next thing for me. You know, I didn't want to sit back and, you know, just enjoy my retirement from the military. There's no growth in that. So I decided to go out and do this. So
you jump out of an airplane with a team. You get your kit also parachuted out of the back.
The growth for me is in that $12 to $15 an hour when you're out there and it's like 20 degrees and you're freezing your ass off and you're thinking, you know what? I don't need to be here anymore. And you start questioning yourself why you're here. And there's a lot of growth in that.
Why did you decide to release another book? What was undone with the first one? I think it was being lonely.
Right.
And that was primarily what was causing me to be sad throughout school. Right. So I do this interview for the BBC about 6 months ago. And in it, I talk about, I haven't opened up that much about bullying. I need to do it more. And it is, you know, even from watching you go through opening up about your traumas, it is inspiring. So I do this interview for the BBC and I mention a little bit about bullying in school. And
he had the highest award in all the military for heroics, saving lives, putting his life on the line. Could have been killed. And he is now basically, you know, cleaning shitters for young kids.